Oh, hello everybody, this is Sonia. Just making sure that that was working. I hope that's in the shot too. I'm just putting that little girl there because, look at that, she's in a bowl. I just got her down off the shelf. She's lying in there. Look at that, isn't that really cool? And that's been actually made and put in there. I thought she'd look really cool in the bowl. What do you think? Yeah, it's a little place for her to sleep. Now, I've come back on here today because I needed to give you some answers to some questions about my giveaway. I've had a few answers, different questions, different ones. I've had a lot of people saying they're going to have a go at this, and I'm so excited because I really can't wait to see what everybody comes up with. Now, for the first part where we're doing a... I'm sorry about all the roaring noises. That is two fans, like I said before. You know, I've got to do that to keep myself cool in here while I do this. So they're making a bit of a roaring noise. Now, back to this. My train of thought just went flying out the window. Yes, I'm so pleased that everybody's going to have a go. Now, goodness me, Sonia. The thing that I wanted just to do, the item that I wanted just to make for the first part is take something just ordinary, right? Now, this is a small example. Years and years and years and years ago, when I did my first recycled item, I think this was my first recycled item, I got a baked bean can and I got a nice blouse shirt thing from the second-hand shop. And using the embroidery, I might have put my own embroidery on it, but I used that blouse and the buttons off it, and I used the tin and I stuffed the bit of blouse in the tin and made a pin cushion, if you can sort of visualise that. Don't know where it is. I've still got it somewhere, but I don't know whereabouts that would be. Now, to me that's recycling. You've used the tin can and you've used the blouse. Now, that's not saying that's what you need to do, but if you've got something that you can make from using just, you know, any sort of item, like people have done spools by using the rolls, you know, that's been done, but if anybody wants to do a spool, well, that's fine. It's, you know, it's your choice what you want to do, but the thing I was looking for was just to see what other people can come up with out of whatever. You know, things that we throw away that we should probably put into recycling it somehow. I mean, I'm surrounded here by these drink bottles, you know. I mean, I know there's lots of people do stuff with drink bottles. These just get thrown in the bin, actually. But if you live in the Northern Territory or probably South Australia, I don't know, somewhere, you get a bit of money back for it. You get 10 cents if you take it to recycle it, which you can recycle them, but in that way. We have a lot of these little things in something that we throw out. We have boxes we throw away. Some people do anyway, not all of us craft people, I don't think we do throw a lot away, so I can't really say what else there is, because I grab everything. My husband's now, he used to say to me, you don't want that, do you? But now he does. He says, would you like this? And I think, well, I'm going to have to clean out a bit of this because it'll all still keep coming back anyway. And like books get thrown away. There's so many things that people throw out that we can make something useful out of. So that's the thing that I wanted just to do. I mean, I think that, you know, that would be really, really good if you could just make something out of something for us. Okay? I hope that explains what I mean. The flowers, I'd like you to make the flowers yourself, whether they be out of paper, fabric, crocheted, or whatever, clay, anything you like, the flowers can be made out of. Same with the beads. You make paper beads, you can make clay beads. I don't know how else to make beads. I imagine there's plenty of ways you can make a bead. Like every other thing, there's lots of different things, but they might be a little bit harder than what, you know, we should go into. But, you know, the paper ones are not hard to do. There's, when I say that, I just, you know, I'm out there. Nita of Crafty Nita, she does paper beads. She makes paper beads and she's got a tutorial on that. She does lots of flowers. I've seen paper beads that Ruth has done. I don't know if she has a tutorial on them, but there is so many different things out there. Okay, so I made a butterfly out of paper and a stamp. I started out with a stamp and I cut him out and I made that butterfly. Well, that's a made thing. And all the crochet and trims, I mean, that's a lot of people are doing them, so they're a thing that you make to put on whatever this recycled thing is. Becky from Aunt Beck's Creations have already started hers. She's crocheted pieces of trim, and she's also got a piece for her flower that she's done, a circle of crochet for her flower, so she's off to a really good start there. Now, what else? Well, I suppose you could make things like, I mean, a bag and a box, well, they've all been done before, but whatever item you come up with, it doesn't matter. You know, something useful, it doesn't matter. A few people have asked me, can they do both the page and the recycle thing, and that is fine. The page is part 2, and part 2 is I wanted you to make a little page, either with paper or with fabric, it doesn't matter. Because hopefully I'm going to be able to put one of those binding things, when I say binding thing, people show you how to put them into a book, so I'm going to be able to do that, whether I stick it or sew it by adding a little tiny piece to the side, but we'll see what happens there, okay? So, but that's what I wanted just to make something that represents yourself and what you love to do. I mean, you could love to do painting, you could love to do anything at all, crochet, whatever you want to put onto that page, whatever you want to put onto it to represent yourself, because I think it'd be really nice to have something of my subbies. I think that's really nice. I thought last night, well, I probably should try and get something to a lot of views too, so I'll see how I go, but I do have 308 now, so you know, that's going to be really hard to give everybody something, but you know, I'd like to have people to have something of mine too eventually. But anyway, we're still on here for years to come yet, hopefully, so we'll probably be able to gift out things to one another. What else was I going to say? Oh dear, I did write this down, but I can't even read my own writing now. Oh, when you do your recycling thing, okay, show us, if you can do a video on what you made it out of, like, you know, if you used a tin can, if you used a plastic bottle, if you used something cardboard, if whatever you did it out of, if you could show us or tell us when you show us the item, when you do the video. Now, a couple of people don't do videos, and I've already talked to one lady, and that's perfectly fine. If she just writes down a little bit or tells me a little bit about what she did and how she did it, like, you know, not great detail, just this it was such and such, and now I've turned it into, you know, well, I'll be able to see what it's turned into. That'd be good, because I can then do the video myself for that. And yes, I have decided, and the majority of people seem quite happy to the fact that we will be judged by our peers, and that is good, because even if you're not in the competition, I think it'd be really nice for other people to come along and have a look at our craft and have a vote, and maybe be inspired. But I'd only like that to be the subbies, of course. I mean, I have subbies that don't do a lot, so maybe if they see what we can do with what we've got, you know, maybe they will get, you know, inspired, and they will come along and do a bit more themselves on here, okay? So, the subbies that I have now, you know, I didn't want people just to come on here and vote and then, you know, go away. So I think, I know, majority I've seen, or because I look occasionally to see who my subbies are, and the normal ones that come back all the time, you know, I mean, you'll be all able to have a vote on what we've done. Oh, well, I won't be doing this because I have still got other things I'm supposed to be doing, but anyway, I'll get on to them. But I suppose, you know, I could recycle something eventually after you show me how to. You've done it. I don't mean it like that. Okay, so I think that's about all, but I want to thank everybody for subbing to my channel and for being there all the time. All the time you people are there, and you inspire me, and I need to show you how to do more things. Another thing I just discovered this morning, I thought I'd better go and have a look and just see how long I've been here on YouTube. I've been here a year on the 9th of January. I've been putting up videos. The first one I put up on the 9th of January, and I was scared to death. I just had to look at it. It was okay, but I was really frightened. I remember that day so much. I do. But you people have made me so, you know, I can sit here and talk like this, like you're all here listening to me, because, well, I know you will be eventually. Hopefully you'll go onto my channel and have a look and see what I was blabbering on about today. Sorry about this, but I needed to just tell everybody and help you with what you need, what I would like for you to do, okay? Now, anything else? Don't think so. I won't be doing any bigger packages or anything because I can't afford to, so the prices that are out there now will be what they will stay at. I might come up with a couple more things, just depends what sort of response I have, but I can imagine you ladies are just going to come up with the most great, amazing things, because we all love to sit down and experiment with stuff and try and see what we can come up with. So it's not a matter of altering something. Well, you are in a way, but if you understand what I mean, I want you to put your own self onto this thing by doing your own flowers. You can do other embellishments, like any sort of embellishments. I made an eye. I made lots of eyes, but I put a little eye in this book. Look at that, see? I made that eye, and I put it in this little book. I don't know if I showed you that, but anyway, that's a thing, isn't it, that I've made myself, and I've put it into this leather off a handbag. Books, pages from an old book. I think everybody sort of understands what I'm getting at. Any sort of thing that you want to make out of flowers, but I'd like you to do a few elements, like if you can do flowers and beads maybe, and if you can crochet. But if you can't crochet, your trim can be, what can your trim be? I suppose you could get a piece of lace like I showed once before, and actually add the beads and things to it and turn it into your own trim that way. If you don't know how to crochet, make your own trim by using sorts of things like this. Anyway, if I can come up with some, and this here that I got from Jeanette's parcel that she sent me is gathered up, but of course it's probably done by a machine. People can do this themselves. This is trim. You can gather up, get a thin piece of fabric of any sort of, I hope you can see this, and you just run a gathering stitch through it, which probably maybe some people don't want to do the sewing thing, but pull that up and then you've made your own trim. That's the sort of thing I mean, you know. Put on whatever it is that you want to make. And I guess the buttons, I guess they could be covered buttons. See, a button, you can do covered buttons. You can actually buy, buttons, what am I talking about, buttons? But anyway, we do buttons, or beads, you can do some buttons. I try everything, don't I? I have some buttons here that I've covered. These are self-covering ones, but I'm sure that there's a way to just do them anyway yourself. If you can't do, there's a way to do buttons. Make your own. You could get some of these self-covering ones and cover them to make your embellishments out of that. Like that's a. It's not recycled. Well, it is. It's making your own embellishments in a way, isn't it? Okay. So that's the sort of thing that I'm actually looking for. I guess there's lots and lots of ideas out there, and I make me little flowers, don't I? But you don't have to put those on there, but you can make like the fabric flowers, make it with material. I've got one here that I've made with an old flower, when I say old, it's not actually that old, it's not that, and I just pull that apart, and I've put the lace on the centre, and then I will put something in the middle of that, and I've got ink all over myself. But that's the sort of idea that I mean, you know, to come up with your own thing. So if that helps, I hope it helps, and I'll come back on there anyway. If anybody needs to, I'll be coming back and showing you how to do a few more bits and pieces later on. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.